Hi, gang. I'm Dr. Joe Blaney, professor of communication in the School of Communication at ISU. And tell you a little bit about myself. I went to college, undergraduate, Loyola in Chicago. I got my master's at St. Louis University, and then finally my PhD at the University of Missouri. But I had a pretty substantial career in broadcasting prior to that, and so I'm very proud of that professional experience that I'm able to bring to the classroom and to my research. I tend to teach the classes that deal with media effects and media and culture. So these are courses where we measure scientifically how the media, mass media, impacts people's behaviors and attitudes. Now, I know a lot of people tend to have the thinking sometimes that mass media really don't exhibit those effects, that or they sometimes think that those effects only impact other people, but never us, right? Never ourselves. That's called the third person effect. But this simply isn't true. So we go over the scientific evidence to the effect that the mass media do in fact impact us. Then another class you might have me for would be the cultural criticism of mass media class, wherein we would discuss the ways how the mass media socially construct our realities, our ideas about race and religion, occupation, sexuality, and so forth. So those are the things that I like to teach at the undergraduate level. And how do I teach them? Sometimes it's lecture, sometimes it's discussion. Sometimes you get a little bit of reading to do, and then I have some discussion questions, and sometimes I want you to sit back and be a sponge. So it really all depends on the lesson of the day. In any event, I try to keep things light and good-humored and so forth. In terms of my own personal research, I am a leading authority on the question of how people repair their reputations after they've been damaged. So that area called image restoration. And so I've published a number of books and journal articles, book chapters and so forth on that topic. And I tend to teach that subject at the graduate level as well. And you want to know something fun about me, I guess, huh? Okay, here's something fun. Even while I've been a professor at ISU, I got a wild idea back in the mid-2000s to go back into radio full-time. So I was doing full-time professor work and doing a morning show on a local radio station in town. You're probably thinking that wore me out. Yes, it did, but I think it really made me a better teacher, scholar. So I try to stay on top, and I try to stay what's current in the mass media industry. And I hope I see you walking around Fell Hall. Go you Redbirds.